X is for exotics, and I wanted to do in this episode of just a quick recap and a final goodbye to Pistol, my Grand Mastola Rosea Portery, whichever one people say it now. But I did a video about, I want to say, I think it was like November 11th, 2014. This particular tarantula survived a post-ultimate molt. He was a mature male, and he has survived for nearly 3 years. Now, as you know, if you're a keeper, most of the time, if they go into a post-ultimate molt, they don't even survive the molting process. I actually did a video, and I'll link both of these videos below. Did a video when I had to euthanize one of my mature male porteries because he got stuck in his molt, and he didn't survive the process. This one's the complete opposite. Survived for 3 years, was eating very well. He actually lost a couple pedipalps, lost his fangs, actually grew back. It was weird, but it's been almost 3 years, and he finally just passed away, and I'm not upset about it because I cannot believe how long I've had this tarantula. I've had him longer than some females in my collection. So let's take a quick look at him. And this guy here, this is Pistol. He's actually the first mature male I ever owned. Got him from Jamie's Tarantulas. I want to say a few years ago. He was a mature male when I got him. So I did get him for breeding. He wasn't a very good breeder. Wasn't really interested in breeding at all with my females, which was fine. I still learned a lot from him. But as you can see, he was a very beautiful young man, and he lived a very long time, and I learned a lot from him. And he still, right before his death, was making sperm webs and webbing up in here. He just started to slow down. He got off feeding. He's actually eating pretty well the last year, but as you can see, he finally passed away. And again, I'm not really upset about it because I gave this guy a very fulfilled life. Did everything he would have done in the wild, and he lived longer than expected. He actually lived longer than some males do when they mature out during his post-ultimate molt. I mean, he lived almost 3 years after his post-ultimate molt. And every time I will look in here, I mean, it's been a long time. I mean, he's slowing down, gotten back on food, slowing down. So it's cool that he actually has, moved on to a better place, and I don't have to worry about him, suffering. He didn't suffer. He just kind of, as you can see, he's not even in a death curl. Truly, his legs in the back are in a death curl. But for the most part, he just kind of passed away. And he didn't really slow down extremely. Like I said, he wasn't in any pain. He was eating, and he just finally succumbed to nature. And this happens. And I bring this up because a lot of people are very quick to euthanize their tarantulas when they're in the molting process. And, if you know your tarantula, if you're experienced, you know the difference. Again, I'll put the link in the description for both these two. Perseus, the one that I had to euthanize during the molt, and Pistol here, who actually survived. If you're interested in post-ultimate molts, you don't know a whole lot about them, look at both those videos and see the extremes. Experience the contrast of what can happen when they get stuck and when they actually survive. This is an extreme case. I don't see this happening often with Pistol surviving almost 3 years after his molt, but it does happen. It does happen. So don't be so quick to euthanize your tarantulas if they're stuck or you think they're in trouble. You just say, oh, well, he's a mature male, no more use for him. Believe me, this guy lost his pedipalps, and he still was like in here, in his mind, he was fine. You know what I mean? So if you love your animals and you think, if you're only thinking breeding purposes, I understand it. I completely get it. If they may not be worth anything to you, if that's all you're thinking about. But for me, these are my pets, so it never even crossed my mind during or after that he should be euthanized. And he has lived a very long time, and I've enjoyed him. I've handled him. He was a very, very perfect, beautiful tarantula. I'm going to miss him. I really am going to miss him because I just learned so much from him. He was one of my first mature males, my very first mature male, actually, and I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot of how to pair up tarantulas from him. And he really wasn't interested in going in there and doing his thing, and that was fine. Perseus actually did the job, so I did have another shot with him, with Perseus, who passed away, but I learned a lot from this guy. So again, I really wanted to show this video so everybody can really just see the contrast between what happens when they get stuck and what happens when if they don't get stuck and they happen to live.
you know, they can live a long time. So that'll do it for this one. You guys be safe, be good, and be genuine, and I'll see you next time.